I think this is the best travel combination in the world when it comes to photography. And what I mean by traveling, I thinking about family vacations, holidays, but also this combination can be really good if you want to do some professional work, obviously with some tripod and some other gear. So not only for like free time on travel, but also can be really good base when it comes to professional work. So let's start with Canon PowerShot V1. Yes, this is video powerhouse and it has PowerShot in its name, but it's more close to any other full frame or crop Canon mirrorless camera. The lens goes from 16 to 15 millimeters, so it's really good for handheld vlog style, for gimbals, for that kind of work. But I think this camera is really good for photography. If you are aware that this is like a really wide lens, so this lens is probably wider than any smartphone that has like 3, 4 or 5 times or even 10 times optical zoom. Probably the first question is how investing in this camera can be more reasonable than latest, let's say, generation of iPhone Pro. There is a lot of reviews on the YouTube comparing this camera to, let's say, iPhone 16 Pro or 17 Pro, and all of these tests are like the same. Like you have like big landscape, both phone and this camera take the shot, and obviously iPhone are giving really good results. Oftentimes better results for photography, but don't be fooled. Phones obviously has computational photography, and computational photography can be really good, but if you ask me for really limited things. I'll give you an example. The first day this camera arrived, we're sitting like my wife and my older kid, and I was just taking one shot probably on auto, and the skin and the people just looked so nice. And I'm not talking about Canon color science. We heard a lot about that. I'm just talking about, you know, the skin, the pale white skin, almost translucent, which is what I recognize on these people, and what I'm seeing that like really nice rendition on the screen, on the camera, on even computer. If you do that with the phone, you will get much more, let's say, orangey, reddish results. It is not what I want to see, and it is not really realistic to the real life. So yes, computational photography can be really good on phones, but if you're like taking a photo of some receipts, some like numbers, text, like technical things, you know, when you want a lot of details, especially in low light, especially when you're not like holding your phone really steady, the phones are great for that, because modern phones are fighting so much to pull every detail, and that is why I prefer photos much more from this camera compared to any modern, I don't know, Samsung or Google Pixel or iPhone. Despite some reviews will give you different results, but in real life, I think these cameras are giving much better photos. So this camera can be really useful for that like wide shots, churches, or some narrow streets, or whenever you are using like 16 millimeters. Obviously it is good when you zoom it up to 50 millimeters, but it loses that character of the professional camera, because you have actually a lot of depth of field. You cannot blur background that much. You can do some portrait if you really push it, but don't expect too much. Depending where you are, you can really get a really nice travel, holiday, even landscape photos with this camera, obviously depending of your surroundings. So when this camera doesn't have enough reach, this is when this combination starts. So it is Canon R8 with 70 to 200 RF f4 lens. So this is probably the best buy body for 4K 60 video, because this body can be really cheap, both new or used. But if you want to go really budget on this combination, you can look for Canon RP, and that body looks exactly the same like this body, but doesn't have that much performance and doesn't have that good video capabilities. So this small body is great for travel. Actually, this combination easily goes into this bag, and you have a lot of space for other things. And also both of these cameras are using the same battery, which is another good thing when you travel. But why you want or why you need this on travel? Obviously, if you like going only on the holiday with your family, this is probably not necessary. But if you're looking this video, possibly you are a photographer and obviously want more. Common misconception is if you're doing like say landscape, you need a wide lens, and that cannot be farther from the truth. If you're doing landscape, you need a variety of all lenses. If you're doing wedding, you know what kind of lenses you need. If you're doing sports, depending on the location or light or type of sports, you still know what kind of lens you use. Even if you go to shoot animals based on your location of kind of animals, you also know what lens you need. But if you're doing landscape, you just don't know. You need like from 16 millimeters to, I don't know, 600 millimeters. And that is why you really need this 200 a lot if you're doing any kind of advanced photography during any kind of travel, like just holiday or vacation or purpose travel for making as good pictures as possible. I see this combination during traveling when you just want to do more, or when you're like going to some other place other than your, let's say, resort or your hotel, and you want to capture more. And I'm talking about distance like fortress at the edge of the beach, or some details on the walls in the city and things like that. And obviously, if we remember days of digicams, we use that zoom like 10, 20, 30 times zoom during travel, much more than at home. You really need that reach to capture different photos, better photos than phone can take it. And also, this is really nice combination for portraits. You don't need really to try harder with this lens to make really nice portraits. So during your vacation, you find a nice spot, nice light, and you are saying to your family, okay, can we do a couple of really nice portraits next day? And this lens, these combinations will shine. Anything above 135, you're making those really nice background separation with compression, and you're avoiding to bring prime lenses on the travel, on the vacation, because in my opinion, they are not really used there, because you don't know what you're going to find during travel, and that is why zoom is a better solution. So how I imagine this combination. So this V1 you can bring with you all of the time, on the beach, during lunch, dinner, next to pool. It is not really pocketable during summer, but if you're going to hiking or winter holiday, it is pocketable camera, and it is nice for a quick family photo during nice dinner, on maybe to capture some details, you know, if you're on foot, and you can like go really close if the 50mm is not enough. And this lens can produce a professional result, especially if you like use RAW and add a little bit of garnish of professional touched photos. Lack of blurring background is not going to be a problem with this camera. And then just a couple of days, maybe 2 or 3 days during travel, you want to bring this combination and make your photos really special and catch more details. And also, these cameras are really nice for video. That is your thing during travel. My gear is primarily used for video, and all of this is used for my video job, so it is going to be, let's say, maybe even better for video. Obviously, the R8 doesn't have in-body stabilization, and that is not a problem because this lens has really nice stabilization inside. I think it's not worth it to bring a bigger body like R5 or R6 on travel. I thought a lot what is the best thing for the things I'm talking in this video, and obviously you have 24 to 105, a couple of those lenses. You have 18 to 150 crop lens that can be used on full frame without any problem, obviously with crop. You have like a 24 to 240 lens, which is like really capable but really big lens. But I love this combination more because this is not really that big, but obviously I will not have the whole holiday with me this body and this lens, but the V1 is not a problem to be with me all of the time. And as I said many times, when I want to do more, when I want to do something special, I will take this combination, and especially with 200 you can separate your results from any phone, and also you can rely on a crop a lot, and don't worry about, let's say, a lower resolution of this body. The real amount of details coming from this lens, it is really big, so you can crop a lot. And this is the reasons why I think this is the perfect travel gear combination. Oh wait, what is this? What is this? It is the Olympus Stylus 1S forgotten camera. This camera is actually the best travel thing in the world. Look how small it is. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear review of this forgotten camera from more than 10 years ago.